Hey friends, welcome back. It is the end of a long planting day for me, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to do a little something for myself. And so I am going to plant out some of my Zinnias soil blocks today. And if you missed that video, I'll link it below, but I'm trying a new tray system from Bootstrap Farmer. And it's just freaking rocking my world. It's so good. And my zinnias, my soil blocks have never looked better. Essentially, I have this like really thin tray, and then there's an insert that has just a bunch of holes in it. So if you are new here, I love to bottom water. I feel like it's the most efficient way to water my seedlings. And what's great is if I put too much water in, I simply lift this and I dump out the bottom tray. And what has happened is my soil blocks have grown in perfect formation, and they have held together without breaking down. And my zinnias, I mean, they're like so strong. So we've hardened them off and I've brought them out, and I think I'm just gonna do this bed today. You know, it's one of those things where I've already clocked 8 hours in someone else's garden, but I wanna just do a little bit in mine. To break down what I'm planting though, I want to kind of show you guys the range of sizes, shapes, and so on and so forth that come in the zinnia family. So for this row here, I've chosen 3 of my favorite zinnia colors. I've chosen a white, I have chosen a like a salmony color, like a coral salmon, and I've chosen a deep red. These are 3 of my most commonly used flowers, and I thought it would be fun to show them to you in 3 different size ranges. So in the back here, by the way, I'm facing south, so to my back is the north, and I plant my rows like a kid's class photo. So tall kids in the back, short kids in the front. So all along this back, I'm gonna plant my Benary Giant series. These are the largest, they're 40 to 50 inches tall, and they come in a huge, wide variety. Like I said, I have deep red. I have, gosh, I think it's called Salmon Rose. So those are my Oklahomas. Oh no, I have one more Benary, hold on. There we are. Benary White, Benary Salmon Rose, and Benary Deep Red. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant my Benaries across the back, and then in the middle row, I'm going to plant my Oklahoma series. These are, so Benaries are like this big, Oklahomas are about that big, maybe a little smaller, and they are 30 to 40 inches tall. Next, I have a Lilliput series, and the Lilliput are tiny, and they're little guys. They're super cute, and those are about like 18 inches to 2 feet tall. So it's gonna be fun staggering them down. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna do the deep reds, and then I'm gonna do the salmons all stacked down, and then I'm gonna do the whites all stacked down. So all that to say, we're gonna get to digging. Spacing. Let's talk about that. Zinnias can get huge. Typically recommended spacing is 9 to 12 inches. I am going to push that a little bit today. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm giving each one of my color bands 3 feet of growing space. And we're gonna go from there. It should shake out to roughly 9 inches, but probably 6 to 9. Oh, should I show you my soil blocks? Okay, so just for a frame of reference, this is one of my zinnias. Look at this soil block perfection. I mean, incredible roots, really strong stem. I mean, I'm whipping this thing around and she is as sturdy as they come. I've had these hardening off for over a week now, and I'm gonna plant them as is, and then as soon as they put on a little bit of size, I will actually be pinching out the center so that I get more branches. But honestly, this is the most beautiful soil block I've ever grown, and the watering has just been seamless with my new trays. I have about 10 feet to work with here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start about 6 inches off of my main line coming here because these zinnias are gonna get big. And essentially what's great about drip tape is this drip tape has emitters every 6 inches. So I don't even need to think about it. It's like so easy to space out all of my zinnias. So I'm gonna start with my deep red here and I'm going to do kind of like a rough spacing, and then we're gonna throw them in the ground. And by the way, native soil has been worked for 4 seasons now, maybe a little bit longer, and top dressed with a couple inches of compost. And then my biotone is in my work van, and I didn't wanna go get it. And so I just have Espoma flower tone. I love this entire series. I feel like it just does wonders for the establishment and growth of all of my plants and all of my containers. So I think I'm gonna set you up and I'm gonna play with some spacing and then we're gonna get to it. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do to try to maximize my space is I'm gonna hopscotch this line. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that is gonna be about where I'm at. Oh, and by the way, I'm just pre-moistening my soil a little bit and you can see it dripping. So going in first are my Benary deep red. I mean, do you just see this? Like peeling them off. So good. And I have one extra. I think I might, what do I do? Actually, I'm gonna swap it out for this one. This one, it got aphids, so it's a little runty. And also, I forgot to pinch out some of them, so I'm just gonna pinch as I go. So you're gonna notice I have 2 zinnias here in this singular soil block, and that's because typically when I'm using older seeds especially, I'm gonna plant 2 knowing that 1 may not germinate. When you have 2 growing like this, you need to choose like which horse you want in the race. Now for me, I look for a strong stem, a straight stem, good color. I make sure my leaves are formed really well. Sometimes I'll actually elect, like in this case, I'm gonna pinch that out. I'm actually gonna take out my taller one because I would rather plant something a little bit shorter, a little bit straighter, and I need to eliminate the competition. So friends, off camera, I was kind of mad at myself because I was like, why would I plant Benary white? Like I didn't even use that much white. I used more of the wine color. And then I reread my handwriting. Turns out I planted Benary wine. And then I'm like laying out all this stuff thinking to myself, why is my spacing not right? You guys, my brain needs a redo. I don't know if anyone else has been like that, but apparently I can't read and my math skills are off. Oof. Okay, so we're revisiting. I'm doing 6 of each because that's all I have space for. So we're just gonna go from there. Okay, take 2. Apparently, garden math for the win. I am a genius. All right, back to planting. Mental note, do not try to film a YouTube video after you've already worked a full 8-hour day and you're a mom. Next going in, I have the Oklahoma Scarlet. I need to reread. Oklahoma Scarlet, verified. Oklahoma Salmon, verified, and Oklahoma White. And each one of these are going to get, I'm just going to keep my spacing the same. So I'm going to do 6 of each of them, and then I have extra to give away. So it's going to be fine. Okay, first in is Oklahoma Salmon. By the way, typically you see me out in the garden with my Hori Hori. That is like my all-time favorite do anything tool. But lately I've actually been in love with this Japanese weeding sickle. And what's fun is like when I get a new tool, and by the way, this might be helpful for somebody, I really like to run it through the paces. So I want to use it in a variety of circumstances. I want to use this little weeding sickle. Some people call it a weeding hoe. I feel like it's tomato, although I'm sure someone will have very strong opinions about its name in the comments. But all that to say, when I buy a new tool like this, I want to test drive it. I want to try it in the garden. I want to try it transplanting. I want to try it weeding. I want to see exactly what it does, because also I feel like sometimes you need to train a tool almost like, I don't know, like your hand and the tool need to like get to know one another. And so for me, I'm just using this thing constantly and I'm just insanely impressed with it. So, I mean, from kind of coming in here and busting up some clumps, smoothing things out, transplanting, actual weeding, I'm really impressed so far. And this thing's sharp, which is awesome. In case you want to pick up one of these, I always recommend a garden center just because I think our local businesses are super important. This one I ordered on a whim off Amazon, and so I will link this exact one in the description below. Okay, so that first was Lilliput Scarlet, and now I'm on to Lilliput Rose, which is like the sweetest, most adorable color. It is divine. Friends home stretch, gorgeous, Lilliput white. All right, friends, that's going to do it for me today. The sun is setting. I got my first little chunk of zinnias in, and here's an update. Number one, my wisteria is gorgeous. Rather, my neighbor's wisteria is gorgeous. I did not have a chance to do a heavy prune back on this lower part, but it still looks beautiful. It is still blooming its little head off. And just so you know, I am test driving my more kind of like basic series of zinnias. So the Benarys, Oklahomas, the Lilliputs. I'm test driving those down here because last year they were bunny candy. And if these survive, then the next section I get to plant is my series of floret zinnias that I purchased last year that are already looking so darn good. Okay, I'm gonna see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me.